A woman of noble, virtuous character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Many women do noble things, but you, Maxine, surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. It began in the small northeast Texas town of Linden on Saturday, September 12, 1925, the life's journey for the child born Maxine Jacqueline Warren. According to historical weather data for Cass and Harrison counties, it was a rainy day with a high of 86 and a low of 61. The number one song in America on the day Maxine was born, Sweet Georgia Brown by Ben Burney. Maxine was a PK, a preacher's kid, the firstborn to Reverend Otis and Lesophilia Warren. She and her younger sister Eugenia were raised in the Pleasant Hills section of Linden, both attending Pleasant Hill School on Farm Road 1399. It was one of about 3,000 so-called Rosenwald schools, built during the first 3 decades of the 20th century to help educate black children in the South.
2 million New Yorkers jammed Times Square. It's official. It's all over. It's total victory.
In post-World War II America, in the late 1940s, Maxine was living in nearby Marshall. She married a man named Eugene Mack and added 3 beautiful daughters, Jacqueline, Diane, and Francine, to go along with a son, Charles Ray Smith, she had from a brief first marriage.
Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike, that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans.
Several months after the John F. Kennedy presidency began, Maxine took a better-paying job in Dallas, and for about 2 years made the 120-mile trip back to Marshall to be with her family on weekends. Finally, in 1964, the whole gang packed up and moved to Big D. Over the next 5 decades, Maxine's life was often split between Marshall and Dallas. There were the normal gains, the births of grandchildren, great-grands, and great-great-grandchildren, and of course, losses, the passing of family members and dear friends. There were divorces, a remarriage, different jobs, and finally retirement. Through it all, there was one constant: Maxine's love of America's team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Since 1960, these Cowboys have established an NFL tradition that glistens with excitement.
From the Cowboys' humble beginning in the fall of 1960, the boys had no bigger fan than my Aunt Maxine. She cheered every victory.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
And grumbled about every defeat.
It is good! The Packers are moving on!
Along with her family, treasured friends, and her Cowboys, Maxine was devoted to her religion. She was indeed a lifelong child of God.
Forever I'll
And as the years progressed, she came to be known as Mother Tucker at the place she adopted as her home church, known by the acronym GCOP, God's Exciting Cathedral of Praise. My dear Aunt Maxine's life ended the morning of April 22nd, the year of our Lord, 2019, after 93 noble and virtuous years. And so in closing, let me hearken back to Proverbs chapter 31, verse 31. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the pearly gates.